We're coming to you live from Dubuque, Iowa at Abby Finkenauer headquarters, where we're watching the election results pour in here on election night 2018. Major local and national election implications, and we're going to bring you the insight from here in Dubuque. As mentioned, a lot of very competitive races going on around the country, but right here in Iowa, several competitive ones as well. We begin in Iowa's 1st Congressional District, where Democrat challenger Abby Finkenauer is taking on two-term incumbent Rod Blum. Both are Dubuque natives, and if Finkenauer wins, she could become the first woman to be elected to Congress from the state of Iowa. Recent polls, according to RealClearPolitics.com, the average has had Finkenauer up 9.5 points, so definitely leaning her way, with the polls closing here soon. So here in the 1st District, obviously, you know, a close election between Blum and Finkenauer. What have been some of the most important issues that have followed this campaign up to election night?
Well, I think, first of all, Mr. Blum in the last 2 or 3 weeks is acting like he's done all this work, and he hasn't done jack.
The main issue for me in the governor's race is, well, there's a couple. First is getting rid of Medicaid privatization and making sure that there's oversight so that the overhead administrative costs don't go up and they stay down to the people and make sure that they get the care that they need, especially the disabled and the poor.
While Trump in 2016, he was an atypical candidate. He wasn't part of the establishment, and I thought it was interesting, but after 2 years, I think your average American, we're fed up with it. We don't want a leader anymore who's going to base the entire Republican Party around himself and run as a dictator. You know, that's not American values. That's not common sense. And I think Abby's a great representation of that your average voter waking up to the fact that this isn't America anymore. Change needs to happen, and change is happening through candidates like Abby.
Switching to the governor's race real quick, it's really tightened up in the last couple minutes, so we'll see how it comes down. Kim Reynolds, I think, just took the lead. What were some of the big issues that drove you in that election?
Well, I think for me, like, women's rights is really important, so I'm really hoping that Fred Hubble will win because for me it's all about women's rights and like the younger generation.
I'm a former nurse, I'm a retired nurse, and I feel real strongly about access to health care, and I have a pre-existing condition, and I think that most of us have pre-existing conditions, and so we should be taking care of that.
This campaign has always been about hope. Hope in the idea that if you work hard, you're not just able to make a living, you're able to have a good life.
So at the end of the night here, Abby Finkenauer claiming victory in Iowa's 1st congressional race. She will become one of 2 women elected to Congress here tonight. Sydney Axe taking the 3rd District away from David Young in a near blowout election in the 3rd District. Dave Loebsack winning re-election in the 2nd. Steve King currently leading the 4th District. And in the Iowa gubernatorial race, Kim Reynolds taking a slight lead down the stretch with a good chunk of the vote still left to be counted. Reporting here on the election in Dubuque, I'm Joel Waters.